Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, and welcome to the Owl Show right here on BKS1 Radio. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel, and of course, I'm sitting here with my bestie, Miss Queen B. Are you good? I
don't know.
Yep.
Check.
All right, we got you. We are here. We are in the building. It is Tuesday, and we are blessed to be here today because what it took for us to get here today is truly a blessing. We are not going to get into all of the stories of everything, but just know that it was a blessing to get here today. Sis, how you doing? I'm going to sip my tea.
I wish I had some. I'm okay. It's Tuesday, the beginning of the week.
Okay.
And all that good stuff.
Okay.
I don't have much to pour from.
You don't got nothing right now?
I don't have a lot to pour from.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, but
empty cup?
I'm here. It ain't empty.
Almost.
You know, it's at the bottom.
Okay, listen.
It's
You
at
know
the
I
bottom.
understand. I understand. But listen, we got good things that have happened, right? Some good things going on.
Great things, yeah.
Great things that have going on. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you had going on recently in the launch of some of your things? When I asked you to send them pictures to Jeff that you ain't sent, but go ahead and tell the people about it, and then we'll have the pictures next week.
You could have done it.
I said, you know what? Go ahead, tell everybody.
Screenshot and do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know your best friend.
Go
Come
ahead.
on, bro.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I have a business where I will be doing weddings, right? Marrying people. Oh, okay. That was the late part. Just not weddings, but vow renewals, and things like that. Funerals and crownings. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that before. And things like that. So
what will you be doing there at those events?
Marrying people.
You'll be officiating.
Yes.
Okay. Bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs.
I don't know about that. Bat mitzvahs, yes, of course.
Okay.
But bar mitzvahs, they might not invite me. I can't
not
get.
invited. You're not
I won't. I'm not in that.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
Okay.
Sweet 16s.
Okay.
Things like that.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
guys.
this is a new business venture for you.
It is a new business venture for me. I'm pretty excited about it. Something that I wanted to do for a long time. And it's called Dearly Beloved. Of course, you got the B from me, of course. So that is one of the things that I want. I mean, remember, we had a lot of stuff we had to check off this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we did this thing at our best friend's house, and we did where we put our goals or whatever. We did it different. We always write the vision.
Yeah.
But this year we did our goals. We put it in envelopes.
Yeah.
And we are going to revisit them next year to see if we accomplished all the things that we
this year,
wanted to do.
December.
Well, December, of course, at the end to see if we accomplished everything. So I will have you know that piano playing was on my because me and her got into it today.
No, talk about this in public.
No, yeah, we're gonna talk about it in public.
Like we don't. That's a private.
Because you laughed it off. Like
I didn't laugh at all,
guys. I just want to tell y'all that I wanted to learn. Okay, I was a drummer.
Here we go. Can we get to
the
show?
No, I have to tell them.
God.
I have to let them into our world. So I put on my thing that this year. I not only want to be a drummer, but I want to be a piano player. I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano.
I said do it.
You used to play the piano.
I did.
So this is my thing. I wanted to learn how to play the piano. And I said that, and she's like, laughing.
I didn't say whomp, crump, crump.
Yeah,
I did
you
not
were
say
laughing.
that.
You were
I
laughing
did
about
not.
it. Like,
No.
what was your thought?
No. When you originally,
What was your thought?
No. When you originally told me weeks ago that you wanted to play a piano, I was like,
I'm looking for lessons.
sis. Okay.
And you know why? Because I wanted to play all the church songs. Why would you laugh at that?
There's nothing wrong with playing the hymnals. There's nothing wrong with playing the hymnals.
Understand?
Listen.
I want to learn how to play the hymnals.
Okay. Is that it?
What's wrong with that?
Is that going to be a part of the business? Is that a new offering?
No.
Like you going
That's
to
for me.
officiate and then like touch the keys?
No, they might. I mean,
and then
listen.
you going to play the hymnals along
this
with
is for me.
the
I want to be
ceremony?
able to.
So if I get married this year, you can officiate and play the wedding march?
You want me to be Cephas and Tephas?
I'm just saying.
Like,
which one
no.
you gonna do? Okay, I'm just asking. All right.
I will do your wedding. What I'm saying
You
is
can do the wedding.
piano playing is for me.
Okay. It's
And
not
then
for
the fact that
business.
she's getting rid of her piano and didn't consider me.
Ooh, here we go. All right. We
That's
done
another
with that?
story.
Can we move on to other stuff right now?
I want to run up and hit.
Can we move on to
Like,
other stuff though?
I'm a little upset about that. Anyway,
I did not get rid of the piano. My mother got rid of the piano. And this was prior to you having this goal in your life.
First of all, this the crazy thing. Like mother, like daughter. I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone with Toya today, and I'm like, I was like the piano, and they were like, oh, somebody else is supposed to pick up the piano. I'm like, yeah, but why wouldn't you consider me? And then she's like, Mom, Basima wants to learn how to play the piano. In true Jones form, they go.
Not they. My mother was like, no. Yeah, no.
Wow,
What
what is wrong with me?
I didn't say anything. My mother did, and then when she did it, I laughed
because you had already done it already. She had already done it.
No,
like
but I didn't.
Like I told her that was her reaction, and then her mother gets on the phone and she's like, "What is wrong with everybody? Why can't I at 46 learn how to play
It's
the piano?"
never too late. Ain't that what we talk about on the show? Do it, but get a Casio. You're not getting a piano. You want to get a Casio?
Why I need the Casio?
You just need a Casio. You learn on there, like since you don't need.
Did you learn on there?
No, I took real lessons.
Okay,
but I'm
so
just
why
saying,
can't I get real?
You can learn on there.
Do you see what I'm saying? Does anybody see what I'm saying?
What? I'm just saying.
Is that not crazy to me?
I'm just saying, like you could learn.
Oh God!
And then remember, I was like, "See, you do the A B." Remember, I was telling you.
You was telling me what to do, but then you're
reading music.
What is it? Everybody's like,
I didn't do that.
I don't understand. I was a drummer. You weren't with me when I was.
I know that, but I'm just saying, you can. Can we get on the other stuff?
Now I want to do the piano.
Okay.
I don't want to drum no more.
You want to play in church. You want to play the marching.
I don't want to play in church.
You don't want to play in church.
I just want
to play church songs.
I just want to play the church song.
Like extensive ones, like Never Would Have Made It, or like
the
which
hymns,
one?
like
all the hymns.
The hymns.
All the hymns.
Oh my
All
God!
the hymns.
Tell me when they get on.
She said she wanted to play
the organ. When they get on the
she
organ,
wanted to play Blessed Assurance because that was my
That's
dad's.
my favorite song.
That was my dad's. That was my
That's
dad's
my favorite song.
Okay.
I can't play
My
Blessed
father was a
Assurance.
deacon in church, and you knew if he was picking which one we was about to sing, it was going to be Blessed Assurance.
All I'm saying is that's going to be the first one I want to learn.
I think you should do.
You going to play like all of it?
Oh, what a forte!
Oh, here you go.
Of glory,
divine.
Yes.
Air of salvation.
Please don't encourage her. Don't encourage her. Don't encourage her.
Tiffany,
don't
can you see
Tiffany.
me
Don't
with a
encourage
Yes,
her.
I can.
You're about to get
Can I see, can you see her trying to find the notes?
You know what?
I'm gonna have a formal teacher.
Yes,
that
I had
teaches
one.
me.
I had one. Shout out to Miss Powell. Yes, I took piano lessons for like 10 years. Anyway,
Toya,
you too.
Wait a minute. That kind of
too.
makes you like a pro.
I mean, but I just don't do it. You know what I mean? I don't do it.
Riding a bike.
You know what I'm thinking? I don't see why Toya can't teach you.
I tried.
Absolutely not.
She don't want me to.
Absolutely not.
She don't want me to.
Absolutely not.
She don't want me to.
Because she don't have no patience.
I don't
and
have
she'll be
patience.
yelling
I
and
don't
all
have
that. I
patience.
don't got time
I'm
for
a
that.
yeller.
I'm really trying to learn.
I'm
and take it in.
If 3 apples, that's me. That's me. I don't have
I'm
patience.
not doing that with her.
That's
I'll
who I
never
am.
get one note. I'll never finish one note.
And then Jenny had.
And then if she be like, do it again. No, I'm not doing it again.
Hey, so
Now I'm not doing it again.
I'm not. I'm not a teacher. I'm
sorry.
I don't have patience. I'm not a teacher.
2025.
I'm not a teacher. Y'all should have saw me teaching the people at my job the boots on the ground dance.
The wedding
Oh my
fans?
God! I'm in there yelling and screaming like an idiot.
Is it
was
true?
terrible.
Yeah, is it true that the world
It's
falling
terrible.
apart and black people are just
The only
line
thing-
dancing?
We line dancing.
Yeah.
Our own little bubble.
Is
We
it
are-
true?
listen,
Our own little
but it's
bubble.
how
Minding
we
our
deal with
business
stress.
2025.
It's how we deal with stress.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I taught my corporation, including my CEO, how to do the fan and how to.
This my thing. Are we not minding our business?
I don't see what's wrong.
We are
with
minding
it.
our business this year.
Completely.
2025.
Listen,
Because-
while we are minding our business, could y'all make sure y'all go on Eventbrite and get tickets?
Yes.
To
Tiffany,
our
you better
event
come this time.
that
I'm
is
getting my
coming-
tickets Friday.
Yes. So
Bet.
June 7th is our next live event. The January one
Yes,
was
'cause was you there?
extremely. Yeah, she was there. She was sitting in the front next to Trav's wife.
That's right.
Yes. So listen.
Oh, you know why? Because it was. I know you had a flight out. You were supposed to do. Yeah.
So make sure everybody you get your tickets to the event. It's the Our Show live event. It is June 7th. The last one was sold out. We had a packed house. Listen, it's not a big space because we want an intimate environment where everybody has a chance to speak and can feel heard. So
But
listen,
I think the
get your
gentleman this
tickets.
time.
Whew.
I think the gentleman this time
Are
gonna
gonna really
be,
speak up?
Oh yeah.
They go. 'Cause there was a little. You think
No,
so?
but we got a different set.
Yeah.
We got a different set now, and I think their minds are a little different. So I don't think it'll be as.
This will be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
This will be.
It'll be
But
interesting.
you know what? You know what else was a good thing? The youth.
Yes.
The feedback from the youth was also interesting. It was extremely interesting. They felt like as women, there was a lot that we didn't get, which is our segue into the show. The youth felt like as women, there was a lot of unrealistic expectations from us.
Did they say what
As
age
we were
group?
talking.
Women to
Like
women?
what's
Just
the
women
age
in
group
general.
here?
Okay.
Out my children's age. So you're talking about the 20-somethings.
And did they say what age the women didn't get it?
Huh? Oh yeah, we can bring them on camera. Sorry.
Did they say like
it was
the age group of what women aren't getting it, so to speak?
Yeah, we can discuss it because I want to talk about it when we get back to the live event. But they just felt like the women who were speaking, we were speaking. There were other women in the audience that were speaking, and they felt like they had a lot of unrealistic expectations out of relationships. And then they felt like the men weren't being genuine. They didn't feel like that. They were like, a lot of men, there was a lot more that they probably wanted to say, but a lot of them were sitting next to their wives and was just kind of like, and just wasn't saying what they really wanted to say with stuff. So yeah, we've gotten some feedback, from the last one, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. But I'm using that to segue into help us welcome to the studio tonight. We have Tiffany. Everybody, you know who Tiffany is. Tiffany Show. Tiffany will be back with Unbothered. It's whenever she feels like it because she's unbothered. So she'll be back. And then we have Jazz also, who is in the studio with us, who is coming back. So now tonight we are talking about the women's perspective, right?
Yes.
So we had the fellas on. We always start with the fellas because we don't want to be a man-hating show like all these podcasts get these man-hating all the men talk about women, all the women talk about men, and we are trying not to do that because we're trying to focus on Black love and healing the divide and closing the gap, trying to figure out what's wrong with all of us, right? What's wrong with us as a people? Why are people not marrying? Why are we not getting together? Why are we not staying in relationships? And we're trying to have a healthy dialogue, a healthy conversation to try to heal some of this, right? And then once we have the conversation and once it goes out to, we have it here, we take it out into our communities. And hopefully while we're having these conversations in our communities, that helps to heal us as a people, right? And then we'll start to see more marriages. We'll start to see the single parenting rate drop. Blackonomics will start to become more of a thing. Anyway, all the things, right? But it's really one step at a time, and it all starts with having healthy dialogue and healthy conversation. So we started with the fellas. We had 3 weeks with the fellas. We had a great finale last week with the fellas. We got some gems, some tips, some jewels from the fellas. So, ladies, if you were watching, hopefully you were listening to a lot of the things that the fellas were saying last week. And now, ladies, it's our turn, right?
I want to ask them their take.
Yeah.
Of anything that you guys saw on the show. What did you
from the fellas?
From the fellas?
Okay, from the fellas. Yeah.
I like their perspective. I can agree that they were more open to what they're expecting.
More open to what they're expecting?
To what they're expecting.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked, I could argue with some of what they said.
Okay.
But, yeah, I felt that they were more open this time around.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiffany?
I jumped on the tail end.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to see what everything was about. I just saw that the guys were super engaging. The one that you had on screen seemed like super knowledgeable. Even with who was here? Steve and Jay?
Steve, Jason, and Tashawn were on last week.
They, from what I caught, it was very interesting. They were positive when I was negative because
they checked me a couple times.
Yeah, they checked me and gave me a different perspective on how to look at 39. Yeah. But at the end of the day, and that's what we don't see that much, the fellas or the brethren to try to tell the sisters how to, this is what men like, or this is what, even if it's not for them, it's, let me help you get into a relationship where you're not going to get hurt and you don't hurt him because of what you've gone through.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to ask that.
Go ahead.
I just want to ask you guys, with you, do you take things that you've gone through, because everybody has like a PTSD when it comes to relationships, right? You have traumatic experiences and you have triggers, right? Those three things. Do you take any of those into the new relationship? Are you two women the type that just kind of go with the flow and actually just delve into a relationship or friendship or something that someone you're dating? Do you kind of throw out everything you've gone through and just,
I try to.
I was about to say, is that possible?
Yeah,
No. Some people do. Some people have. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm not asking that question because I'm good at that. Because I have triggers still. I'm married and I still have triggers that I have not been able to shake. Let's just be real. If it's something traumatic, if it's something like a reminder of something that I've gone through, I immediately be like, because I'm not healed in that area yet. You know what I mean?
So go ahead, Jess.
I would say I try to. Of course, we all have triggers, but I am more aware. So I try to catch myself and be more communicative and more communicate better. But I also ain't in no relationship, so these are all just tested theories in my head. So closer.
What'd you say, Jeff? Oh, closer. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So we'll see.
Okay. She said she got to put it in practice.
I got to put it in practice.
Because
Tiffany?
Go ahead too.
I usually don't bring into a new relationship what I have dealt with.
Yusuf says, speaking to the mic, Jessica.
Right. He ain't gonna have Ghost ain't gonna have to check me tonight. I'm gonna be on my P's and Q's, Ghost.
I'm doing it. I got you.
But I don't until that trigger happens. So like, here's the thing, right? I think that some of us don't realize that the triggers just lie dormant. We don't necessarily go into a relationship saying, I'm carrying this trigger with me. We go into a relationship like, okay, this is a new love. This is a new start. Something could pop off. and then they do something that reminds you of what the other person
That's
did.
why I asked, yeah.
I've
You
had
know.
that done to me, but I don't think I've done it yet. Like I've had a dating situation where something triggered him, and
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. But I don't think I've triggered yet.
The reason why I'm asking that is because a lot of times people will say, you will see red flags, right? And I feel like that's like a catch-22 because you're always going to see a red flag in something that somebody did because there's triggers, because you have traumatic experience, because there's dating.
And you're looking for them.
You're looking for them. So you're gonna find something inside of someone that they did. So that's why it's really
But
hard.
you're not supposed to.
That part.
But you're not supposed
what?
No,
That part.
you're not supposed to be
Just
looking for red
You're
red
not-
flags.
I don't think you consciously look for
No,
red flags.
I think it's subconscious.
It's subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I go into new talks or whatever stage it is, clean slate. I'm not looking for them because I want something from them.
You want it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking for the red flags, but subconsciously, you might be.
I think so. If you've gone through whatever you are, and the thing is that if somebody understands something, it's subconscious because it's not until that person does a behavior that is similar that reminds you of, and that can be deemed.
However,
I don't want to do that because, and it might be the
And so okay, so let's go with that scenario. Whose fault is it then if you're triggered?
Good question.
It's yours.
It's yours.
Why?
What do you mean?
Absolutely yours.
It's yours.
You
It's
can
my
your
fault.
It's your fault. You were supposed to manage your triggers. You have to manage your triggers. The more you heal, the more you were supposed to manage your triggers. So, for example, right? If you were with your ex and every day they came home, they put chapstick on the thing, and one time it melted on the desk because of something, and right? You are automatically, the next time you date someone, it's your fault if you start yelling and screaming at the next person because now you see them with chapstick, right? Because that's not the person doing something to you. That is your trigger now causing an issue in your current relationship. So if it's your fault, if your triggers from your previous relationship are now causing problems in your new relationship.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like that's your fault, because if we are working on healing, then we recognize everybody is not going to do everything the same, and everybody's, now if you just dating the same type of person, that is what it is. And sometimes you do.
Okay.
Sometimes you do, right? But a lot of times those triggers, unfortunately, until the exact same thing happens, the triggers causing problems in your relationship is your fault.
I agree.
Okay.
That's your fault.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's good. I never thought about that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Your triggers.
Your triggers were your wife's fault?
Not that my
Your
triggers are my wife's
your
fault.
responsibility.
But I always say extend some grace to me.
Yeah.
Because these are the things that happen to me. And when you do something remotely close, it triggers me. It makes me think of it makes me go back. It makes
Now, this is the thing.
we have a
You're-
Rolodex in our head.
Yeah,
Right,
but this is the
you're
thing.
mixing it up though, because
Yeah, 'cause-
it is
right.
your responsibility to manage your triggers, but it is a good relationship to work them out with that person. So
If
that's
the
two
exact
different
that's two
things.
different things.
Yeah.
If the exact same thing is happening, if your previous spouse came in the house and punched you in the face, and the new spouse comes in the house and punch you in the face, that ain't a trigger. That's actually happening. You understand what I'm saying? That is actually happening.
That is actually
when it is the exact same thing,
Gotcha.
that is not a trigger. However, if it's something that has not happened, but it just reminds you of something that may happen, then that's your trigger.
Yes.
Okay.
That is your trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's the exact same thing, that's just happening. Like that just is what it is. And it's like, listen, this isn't a trigger for me. This is like, this happened before. This exact same thing happened before. My ex used to come in the house and punch me in the face, and now you're coming in the house and you're punching me in the face, and that's the exact same thing. That's different. But if your ex used to come in the house and punch you in the face, but now your new person comes in the house, and when they walk in the door, they stretch, and you like, ah! Oh my God, you about to punch me in the face. And now y'all are having arguments because your new person is stretching. And it's like, it ain't their fault for stretching. It's your fault for not managing your triggers.
All right, I'll take that.
So
I'll take that.
There's a bit of a difference there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some stuff is exactly the same. That's different.
Okay.
And that's when you're attracting the same person.
Right.
That's different.
Yeah.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's
So triggers
different.
are to
Your
be managed by us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Triggers are your responsibility.
Well, I have a newfound way to look. No, because that's a newfound way for me to look at that.
I learned that from my therapist.
I didn't think about that.
I learned that from my therapist. You know what I mean? Like that was from therapy.
That just blessed my entire life.
Yeah, your triggers are your responsibility.
Absolutely.
You are absolutely right.
So I want to ask you, ladies. You guys were on before. So when we had the event in January, you guys were on there. And I know that you had to have conversations about being on before. You had to take stuff outside of here because, like we said, we want conversations to go outside of here and go into the community, right? What was some of the things that you talked about after the last series was done where you were just like, this happened, or I learned, or what's going on over here, or any of those things?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think the main thing that I learned since then was to really look at why I am more than why they are. Because I have a way of like being like, okay, you know what? How can I say this? Focus more on why I am the way that I am as a person.
Okay.
To not make excuses for why they are.
Okay.
Because I have a tendency, there's a scripture that says love covers a multitude of sins.
Yes, it does.
But it doesn't say love makes excuses for that mess either. So even with that, Tiffany, even though you said you'll take accountability for yourself, be okay with not excusing things from other people that you know what they're doing is wrong just for the sake of being non-confrontational.
So you're learning boundaries.
I'm learning boundaries.
You're learning boundaries because that's what that is. Those are boundaries.
And I'm learning how to, I'm trying to learn how to talk because I have a way of, I'm very bold and I realize that people can't necessarily handle how I come forth with certain things.
Okay.
So, but in a relationship or if I'm dating or something like that, I try to be very careful how I allow the words to come out. Like if I think that you playing me, you're gonna get a whole different side of me.
That's
and
me.
so you understand what I'm saying, B? So and Toya, so it's like when I know that you playing me, I don't say, oh, well, you must be just having a bad day. No, we're gonna deal with what I saw, what I heard, instead of me. So and that's part of ownership for me, what I allow. And what I no longer will allow. So that's what I pretty much got since then. Tiffany, it's okay to say, no, you're not okay with this.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay to say that does not make you happy when they hurt you.
Yes.
And for years, I've always hidden that part of me.
Me too.
And you know what I'm saying?
Me
So
too.
when they've done things, I've always remained silent.
Me too.
And never said nothing. Then when I became explosive, I became the bad person. So now, if something bothers me, I speak on it on the spot. If you know what I'm saying. So that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jess?
I've learned to be okay with walking away.
Ooh.
It's not easy. I didn't say I was good at it.
Exhale.
But I have had a couple of situations since the show, and I've expressed how I felt, and they didn't agree. And I was okay with it. Versus trying to prove myself.
Ooh.
And I always felt like I was trying to prove myself.
Yeah.
Because I was always being tested.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, you don't want what I want? Okay. Or I don't like what I'm seeing, because I had one recently and I just didn't like what I was seeing. And I was like, I'm okay with this fading away. And I was really okay with it fading away, and that's never been for me. And I think that's from the conversations that we've had.
Yeah. Woo. Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
that proving yourself. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
That is a
because
big
why
deal.
why do we as women, why do we do that, right?
Why?
Because we don't want to lose the
feel like
person.
it.
So what we do is try to overextend, go
Do we not want to
harder.
lose the person? Do we not want to lose the feeling?
The
do
feeling.
We not want to? It's the feeling, right?
And it's the thought we
So-
have.
the
of
thought
them.
we have of
Right.
them or the relationship or whatever it is, or you
And
know what I
basically,
mean?
it could be
Yes.
also, but in that feeling part, as you progress in a relationship, things change. But you reflect back on how things started. A lot of times you get, I know that was me at one point. I was stuck on, how are we here when everything, when we started, it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And, you know, a couple of years in, everything was okay, and then stuff started changing.
What is that?
And stuff started. So now, even, help me, Holy Ghost,
I'm
today.
not even giving them a couple of years.
But Jess,
Talking
I'm gonna
about
tell you
months and
something.
weeks.
The couple of years that was good, and then all of a sudden there's this shift, and so to try to save face in their wrong, it's not even you.
That's
You
what
try
somebody
to
in the chat on
prove-
Instagram
justify.
said. Women tend to give the benefit of the doubt all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got a couple things I want to read. So Khadijah said, I try to have a clean slate, but I definitely have triggers. If I tell you my past issues, hurts, etc., don't do those things. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Don't punch me in the face when you walk in the door.
All right, then.
Is it safe to say? Now, tell me what you think. Am I wrong? And even just to piggyback on that, because I like what she said.
Yeah, me too.
Because we talk about having this communicative part to tell our partners where we hurt and don't do this, or try to be gentle in this area. So is it safe to say that that can kind of backbite you as well?
That's why I asked, do you go in and do you give a clean slate? Or, you know, because there are times when you go into a relationship and you tell them everything you've been through in your past, right?
Yeah, I was just to say, don't do that. I
don't do that. Okay, so that's why I'm asking, because you go in and you say, I've been through this, that, and the other. And sometimes if you've been with somebody for 10, 15, 20 years, you can't run down every single thing that the person has done to you. You kind of stick with the biggest things that hurt you, right? And then honestly, while you're outside of that relationship, there are things that come about when you be like, you know, they did that to me, but you're not realizing it comes back. It comes back, right?
Yeah.
So I just wonder if you tell them what the new person, what exactly you've gone through, or do you stay silent about that? That's one question.
No, I think I feed it as the relationship grows, because if you tell them all at the same time, if you say, I don't like this, and this, and this, and I expect this, and this, and this, you know what you did? You just gave that
them
narcissist
exactly
the ammunition and the material to do exactly what a narcissist does. And, you know.
Okay.
Not doing that again.
Do you talk about past relationships with your current?
I don't have
dating
a current.
or no, I know you're single, but dating.
Not anymore.
Okay.
No, not anymore. Well, what I do, it's not unfortunate. I try to be very honest. There's certain things, but then again, there's a part of me that tries not to hurt people's feelings. But I can be very honest in regard to, like, when it comes to my ex, who I've had a long history with. If I'm seeing someone or about to see someone, I let them know about my ex, but I don't ever let them know anything that's crazy or that might be negative, because I don't want to put him in that light. And
really, you wow.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to put him in that light.
I try not to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because so it depends on who the person is.
Mm-hmm.
Like a perfect example. I was talking to this guy one year, right? About a year and a half ago. It wasn't nothing serious. He's out of state, and he said, I don't deal with my ex no more, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, well, that's good for you. I'm glad you don't. Because if my ex come around, I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't got no bad blood with him. I don't have no beef with him. Mm-hmm. And I told him straight up, that one there just got a special place in my heart. That it just, I know, Toya, I said, that one there got a special place in my heart.
So I do it for a totally different reason.
Yeah.
I don't say that.
And I did. I did. Because I tried to be honest with that person.
I don't say that.
And that person was still lying.
Yeah, I don't say
that. Person
that.
tried to hit on my cousin.
I don't say that.
I'm be honest. I don't. Let me tell you. I don't save face. For me, like, I'm ashamed the devil, because I just felt like my last marriage, that relationship was just horrible. Mm-hmm. And a lot of things occurred that I still am not over. Ooh. And I just will not, I'm not saving face for nobody, for nothing. It is what it is. You got what you are who you are. And you caused a lot of strife in my life. Mm-hmm. And there's things, like I said, I cannot even.
So in your next relationship, you talked about it.
I talked about it. About it because I need you to know I'm not crazy.
Right.
But this is what I've gone through.
Right.
Like date 1 through 5.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
When the time came.
When the time came.
That's
when the time came. Yeah. I mean, I had to go through a divorce. Mm-hmm. I needed to know. I needed, my wife now to know what I was going to go through. When it came time to do that. I had to do that, because it's like, I need you to know this other side, this other thing, this, while I'm trying to let go of why. Yeah. And then I needed her to know also the stuff that's in my head. It ain't always positive, a good space or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's things that I've learned just with her. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because because you could be married twice and the two marriages look completely different. Totally different. Yeah. You can be in a relationship. You don't even got to be married, but you can be in a relationship and the relationships look totally different.
I think everybody here has been married, right? So I
had
a quick
at
question.
one point.
I want to go back to what Khadijah was.
Oh, real quick though, I just want to read. I know. I want to read the real quick. So, Tasha said, "Experience is a good teacher." She also said that she was intrigued by pretty privilege. I think when they said that.
Tasha, come on now.
We talk. Look, man, Tasha, let me tell you something. We gotta go into that, because we gotta ask them. We gotta ask them what we talked about.
We'll come. Okay.
But and then Tasha said, no, it's not their business.
Mm. Yeah, no.
What you said you want to do?
I was just saying, we talked about, everybody here has been married before. Jess, you would get married again?
This Jessica would not get married again.
Really?
Yes. That's not to say I wouldn't be committed again.
I'm talking about marriage.
Nope.
Really?
This Jessica would not marry again.
I'm
gonna do it until I get it right.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm gonna do it till I get it right. And
what is that?
That means if I'm married 80 times, then
what is that about?
I'm with you.
I also don't feel that I had a failed marriage, though.
Okay.
I had my ceremony was the best ever. Everything about it.
The wedding.
Mm-hmm. Everything that you're supposed to do as a married couple, I did. Mm-hmm. Growing apart, I don't feel is failing.
Right.
So in my view, I had the marriage that people are looking for. I've had the marriage that I was looking for.
Now what's next?
But I want
right.
But do I want love again? Absolutely. Do I want to be committed to one person? Absolutely. Do I want that companionship, that best friend, all of those other things that
marriage is supposed to be?
Yeah. Yes.
Without marriage.
Without marriage.
What if you fall in love with somebody?
Yeah.
I
Who?
want to be.
Okay, so let's say you fall in love with somebody. You're committed to this person. Y'all got something so super dope. You can't see yourself being with anybody else. That person asks you to marry them, to spend the rest of their life with them. What are you going to tell them?
He better be a unicorn. He better be a unicorn. It would take, and like I said, this Jessica, it would take a lot.
I respect what you're saying. You built a team, you had the children, you had the house, you did a lot. You did a lot for the community. You were that, right? There are things that, you helped a lot of children, right? Yeah. Because there was a lot in your marriage where you had to help a lot of children, and you did, a lot of things. So what we always say, when we're married and we stand for something, like you did that.
Your marriage had a purpose.
It had a purpose.
It
did.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. You feel like I did that already.
Right.
She said, She said no. Yeah. Tiffany.
Yeah.
Would you get married again?
I would.
Yeah. Okay.
I think yours didn't end from wanting it to end.
Yeah.
Like
you would probably still be married.
Maybe.
Just from what I've heard.
Yeah, Dwayne was like super amazing. He was dope. He was fun. He was 14 years older than me, which I absolutely loved because I learned from him. You know what I'm saying? But there were certain things that I was just like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if this is going to work. But at the end of the day, I feel like it wasn't able to go any further because he passed.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I won't ever know that part.
Right.
So for me, it's almost like I'm still young.
You're still trying to
There's
get
unfinished
to absolutely.
business.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
I understand.
You can't answer this because I don't want nobody mad at
This
me.
this the second time though.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So if you, so God forbid, things don't work out this time.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's a hard no. She said it ain't happening.
No.
Because there's an
Well, how many more times I gotta do it?
I'm just saying. Listen, I would do it until I get it right. I don't care.
Get it right.
We get married, we get divorced, we get married, we get divorced.
So every
we get
other year. God forbid, every other year.
A new husband. I have a new husband. Like,
you know what?
By the time they bury me, they be like, and this one, and that one, and this one, and that one. Like, just
how many last names you want?
Hey, whatever.
Now I'm not. Listen, first of all, I'm never changing my last name again. Like I've had too many. I'm good.
You racist.
I've had too many. I'm good.
She said
you racist.
Roughing it is. Okay.
You racist.
Roughing it is. It's always gonna be roughing. Okay. That one goes down for the count.
Okay.
I will say this: marriage is work. Yeah. Marriage is a lot of work. Love my wife, but sometimes you go through things. Sometimes the one thing I always say, in and out of time. I'm gonna tell y'all. Let me put y'all up on something. This weekend, I decided to do ratchet things with my ratchet friends, and I wound up at the Elks this weekend, and
the face.
Like, does she want to finish this story?
No, I do. I want to finish the story. I just said I wanted to do ratchet things with my ratchet friends. So I went to, and I don't often do this. I don't pop out all the time, right? So Chanel, could you stop? So I went to And it was a lot of dance battles there from the chair. I realize that we're getting older now.
Can we go ahead?
Can I tell my story?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I tell my story?
We want to talk after the show.
So, what we talking about? Every now and then, I go to St. Mary's. You got to. You just you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you get two ghetto events a year. One of them is somebody cookout in the hood, right?
I ain't have that.
You get one ghetto cook. It ain't the summertime. You get one.
About to be.
You get one ghetto cookout in the hood where it's like your GPS is taking you somewhere, and you like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. You get one of those, right?
Can I finish my story?
And you get one ghetto house party. That's it.
Remember we did that?
Yeah, we did.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Ooh. You get a ghetto house party.
We was trying to act normal, but woo, child.
You get a ghetto house party. We was in North. Anyway, you get a ghetto house party and you get a ghetto cookout. You get two at this age. That's it.
Okay.
You out here freestyling. What are we doing?
Hey. Sometimes you gotta freestyle.
We get to be 46. And you know what? We talking after the show.
All right then.
Wait, Mimi?
Can I
Is
finish?
Mimi watching?
Can I finish my
We gotta
story?
talk about this.
So I went to the Elks, guys. I went to the Elks. Every now and then I go to the Elks Cosmos, visit a couple friends or whatever, because I am from P-Funk, okay?
And?
Don't get brand new.
And?
So. And? See? Thank you, Khadijah. She said
Deej, don't. Deej, don't.
She said once every quarter.
Anyway, can I just,
don't.
Let's move on. So I went out and like I said, it was a lot of dance battles in the chair.
Can we stop? Please.
It was a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Then somebody get up and they do a little jig and then they sit down and then they, it was like that. But I wanted to say that I couldn't be more happier that I was married in that moment.
Because you was in the Elks.
Because when you see people
in the Elks,
that you'll be like, God, I don't want this life. I don't want this life.
No, you don't.
I don't want. Could you stop? I don't want this life. Oh my God, do they do this every Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Like, thank God, that I literally appreciated being off the market, being married.
About this after the show. Go ahead.
I appreciated being married and just looking at people like, wow, like I don't want to be in search like them.
I'm not married and I don't do that.
At the brunches.
At the brunches, I don't care.
When everybody swag surfing.
Oh my God! See, Khadijah said once every quarter to a local spot is okay, and then she said
once a quarter.
She said I went
That's 4 times a year, Khadijah.
Yeah, I went to Hugo's. No. She said she went to Hugo's on Friday.
Absolutely not.
Deej, I was about to go on Saturday, but they said the young heads was there, and I'm old now.
Check the group chat when we leave here, because no.
Kyria said, I'm 25 and I don't want that life.
Because absolutely not. Because thank you. Absolutely not.
Anyway,
absolutely
my
not.
point is that I literally was like, oh my goodness. I don't want to be.
So you had to go to see it?
No, I didn't have to go see it. I wanted the music. I had one drink that I babysat all night. Okay. Because you know how they.
I mean, you can
I don't
one
know.
of them drinks though.
No, I don't know.
At least I didn't get Ayo Ma. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that.
I gotta go back to the discussion.
I didn't get that.
I don't. This is too much for my soul.
I didn't get that.
My spirit.
Everybody was happy to see me. I was happy.
Oh,
to
they
see
said,
them.
"Oh, welcome back."
They ain't say welcome back because I don't do it.
I'm done.
Haters gonna hate. Shout out to the Elks for their music. Shout out to the people that I saw.
No.
Shout out.
No. Tasha, are you watching? Didn't we have this conversation last week?
She watching.
Where I said boundaries and it's just certain
She
things.
said everyone there isn't looking to find a date. I go to St. Mary's for the food. I love they fish.
Okay.
I do on a Thursday night.
Can we go back to the topic at hand?
Haters
please?
going to hate.
This is I'm not doing this today.
Haters going to hate.
You know, I already had a rough day, and then you gonna say this?
Jason,
you gonna say
Jason
this
said,
on
"Hey,
top
yo,
of
mom."
everything?
See, Jason, they ain't do that to
Say
me.
this on top of everything.
They was like, "Hi, Basima."
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No,
they were like,
no,
"Oh my God, you
no,
came out."
No, the day just keeps getting worse and worse and worse
and worse.
It just keeps.
In the
getting
summer,
worse.
the summer is.
No, you get a ghetto cookout in the summer, and you get a ghetto house party. You get 2 ghetto
Who had a house
events
party
year.
that I'm coming to?
Somebody, we going to end up
Invite
with somebody
me.
ghetto house party. You get 2 a
Tasha
year.
said we need to have a meeting. Don't do that.
Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Tasha. Group chat is lit after this. 'cause
After
this is
my
too much.
point is,
Okay.
my point was,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was actually happened to be taken
Right.
at that
you
moment.
was at the Elks.
I
I
was-
would be happy to be taken by anybody. If I was there.
One of my friends said, "You belong to me tonight," you know,
Because
she
you
didn't-
got to do that.
She didn't want to be with, be
Yeah,
alone.
those friends.
Okay.
Right.
But anyway, all I'm saying is I did it. You have to go outside to meet people.
Tasha.
You right, Deesh. You gotta go
Khadijah,
outside
stop.
to meet people.
Khadijah, stop.
I don't want to meet nobody.
Why would you
I was
encourage
good.
this?
All I know is I called my wife after like, "Hey, babe,
Yeah,
Like,
you should have.
I made it in."
You should have. Did you bring her flowers?
She don't like flowers. You know what? I'm gonna bring her flowers. Matter of fact, I'll actually bring her
You should.
something that she
'Cause
likes.
You should. Can we get back
That's
to the
fine.
topic? Because I don't want to talk about this.
Haters
no more.
going to hate. My point is, haters going to hate. I had a good time.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you
The
did.
music was lit.
I'm sure you
It
did.
was, I'm sure.
I'm sure it was.
Because that is our
They was
music.
like, "You used to know how to love me, right?"
That's what they said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen. All right, back to the topic because I'm not. Tasha.
Khadijah
please.
said, "Now we being picky about where there might be another
yes,
bougie
Khadijah.
person there too."
Yes, Khadijah. We are being very picky about where we meet people.
Why?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Go into
We done had 2 different series about the kind of, as a matter of fact, we talked about it last week, the caliber of people and the characteristics of people that we, not you, but the
I was
rest of
about to
us,
say.
that the rest of us want to be with. There are certain people that are going to be in certain
and
places.
They just not gonna be at the
and it's not going to be there.
How y'all know?
So,
How y'all know? No,
You're
seriously.
right, because I ain't gonna be at the Elks.
How y'all know? How y'all know? Don't do that. Don't do that.
no, I am doing that.
No, don't do
No,
that.
I'm doing that.
So you got to meet.
I'm doing that.
Ah,
Oh, I'm doing that.
See, this is why
I'm
you
doing
think
that.
you are like this.
Think whatever y'all want to think about me.
This is why
This
you
is
think
this
that.
is I am
Hey,
not.
Stop working your head.
I am not.
Stop. Stop. They have this view of you.
I don't
You're
care.
showing it.
I'm going to show
Stop.
it. I'm going to show it.
We're above
I'm
no
not-
one.
I'm not above anyone. I'm not above anyone. But when you talk about,
Kyrie said, but there's levels of people.
thank you so much. But the fact of the matter is when you are looking to have someone, like Tiffany said a little bit earlier, what she's working on right
I gotta
now
meet them in
is,
church.
is her boundaries. No, definitely not there either.
No, not me. I'm saying them.
No. What Tiffany said earlier, she's working on boundaries. Remember last year, my whole everything was about boundaries. Do you know what I'm working on this year? Alignment. Okay.
Okay.
Now that I got boundaries in order,
You
right?
got it in order?
This
All right.
year, I got boundaries in order because you know me now. It's
It's
like
no. No is a complete sentence. Got it.
No, it's been a complete sentence.
Okay.
You cut that. Boundaries. This year is alignment. You know what I'm not going to be aligned with?
The Elks.
The foolery from the Every Friday people.
You had 3 years of it.
Oh, no. And that's why
I
I
get
need
you.
to be in
Yeah,
alignment and have
absolutely,
boundaries now
absolutely.
because
I
I
get it.
made the mistake
Yeah.
when I lowered my boundaries and I said, you know
Standards or
what? You said,
boundaries?
you know what? These person standards, boundaries, hell, everything. And I said, you know what? This person might be nice. And then I dealt with all of the foolery
Yes, you did.
that came with that kind of person.
Okay.
He, I'm sure, is somewhere in Essex County at somebody's something, probably right now. Oh, today is his birthday. He definitely out there at one of them spots right now.
On a Tuesday.
Today is his birthday.
All right.
He definitely turning up at one of them spots right now. I'm sure he out in Essex County doing whatever.
Living it up.
Living it up. But guess what? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not be in alignment
I get you.
with anyone
All right.
like that, with that caliber or those characteristics. No more. That's a no for me.
All right then.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I had a question though, because we about to end the show, right? And so I had a question, right? So I asked the fellas what they feel like on the very first show we did. I asked the fellas, what do they feel like is the cause of the divide right now? Why we are not getting together as a people. And I want to know from the women's perspective what your thoughts are.
What the $2 Tuesday.
What the cause of the divide
At Marlowe's.
is?
It's his birthday. Anyway, go ahead.
He said no. Tasha said $2 Tuesdays at Marlowe's.
But you know that's around the corner.
I used to go to that.
But you know that's around the corner.
I used to go to
But
that.
you grown now. So.
Yeah, I was younger
There
then.
you go.
I was younger then.
Listen, but
I was younger then. They got good food.
Today
too,
is
though.
literally his birthday. Jesus Christ.
That is hilarious.
Go ahead.
He there. Anyway, go ahead, Jess.
The divide.
Yes. What do you think the cause of the divide is?
I'm gonna get roasted for saying it though.
Oh God. Mercy, Jesus.
Because I just got roasted.
I think the divide is that the men in our age group are scared of commitment.
Okay.
You think they scared of commitment?
I think they're scared of commitment. I think that we get accused of bringing baggage and having triggers.
Mm-hmm.
They have large triggers that they are bringing to the talking stage.
Mm-hmm. So you
we're
feel
not
like
even
the
getting-
divide in the African American community and why we're not getting in relationships is that you feel like men 40 plus are afraid of commitment.
They're afraid of commitment.
All right, Tiffany.
I think to piggyback on what you said, like they might want the commitment, they don't want the drama. They don't want
But I'm not bringing drama.
No, you might not be bringing drama, but here we go again with these triggers.
That's what,
So there's unresolved issues that they carry that if they get with another woman, they could start feeling the other woman and be like, dang, I feel myself liking her too much. Let me step back because something might change like it did with the last one who ended up turning out to be crazy. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's more of, it's not they want. I think some of them do want the commitment.
Okay.
They want somebody to rub their head. They want somebody to talk mess in their ear. They want somebody to love them down. They want all of that. But then again, there's that element of what if. And then they still have, a lot of them have daddy issues. A lot of them still have unresolved daddy issues. A lot of them still have unresolved mommy issues. A lot of them have seen verbal abuse. And it's like, okay, she raised her voice at me once. There's a good chance she's going to scream at me and da-da-da. I'm out. So I think that their mind is just focused on that what if, but I still think a lot of them do want commitment, though.
okay. But that's afraid of commitment.
It is. It is. I was piggybacking on what you were saying. But I still think they want it, but they just don't know how to compartmentalize or release all of that they carried. Because men don't have the outlet that we have.
Okay. And so another question I have, because we're again coming to the end of the show, what do you think we can do or should do in this current climate?
Jess, you take that one.
Tiff said, yeah, no.
Okay. What I try to practice when I find someone of interest is providing that safe space and letting them know that it is safe here. It is okay to let down those walls. And going back to communication, what I said is, I want them to be more open to talking it out.
No, but what about you? What are you doing?
What am I doing? Talking.
Okay. You feel like what we need to do as women is communicate more?
We need to
We need to communicate
We need
more.
to
Okay.
not be afraid of the difficult conversations.
Okay.
And to piggyback actually on what the men said as far as women being more of an initiating person in the relationship, I'm okay with being that person. Like, oh, this is bothering you? Let's talk it out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm bringing.
But you can't be an initiate. Not you, but they can't want us to initiate, and then when we do, say I don't want to talk, and then they shut down. And so I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You want me to go ahead and be that one to initiate and do the loving things that you need to help, because sometimes I might be off by saying this, but somebody could have been so jacked up in one relationship that it just takes one heck of a kind of love to pull them out of that.
Yes.
So that their heart can change. But in the same breath, you can't tell me you want something. I give it to you, and then when I give it to you, you reject it. So that's why that boundary piece is big for me.
Yeah.
Because that has happened to me. Where I can get a man to talk himself out of anything. That's real talk. They'll tell me, they'll open up, because I'm that kind of person that you can literally just share everything and there's no judgment regardless how bad it is. You know, and so because of that, there's absolutely no judgment. I don't care how bad the situation is or whatever. If you talk to me about it, it's a safe space. It's not going anywhere. I'm not going to look at you sideways. I'm going to say, how can we work through this? Or where's my part? What do you need me to do? And if you tell me, I do it, and then I get pushed aside. So now I'm at a place where I ain't asking no questions. If there's something you want me to know, you'll come out and tell me. Or if I feel that there's something that I need to know because I'm picking something up in the spirit, because the Holy Ghost don't lie. If I'm picking something up, I'll just go ahead and be bold enough to just say, hey, you seem off with this, and is it because of this, or did something happen? Let's talk about it and give them an option. But I'm not going to.
So what do you feel like as women we should do? We can do?
You can only do but so much. You can only do but so much. If you are the communicator and you're trying to get them to communicate and they don't want to communicate, what can you do after that?
Outside of communication, do you think there's anything else as women we can do?
That's a good question, Toya.
Let me tell you why I asked this, right?
I don't know that one.
Because I've been on a high horse all week, and B can tell you, because I called her over like yelling and screaming. Tasha in the chat, she can tell you I done called her yelling and screaming. Here's my thing. There's going to be a lot of people probably in the chat that's going to be like, oh my God, Toya, whatever. And this is not me. This is not me trying to be a pick me or any of those things, because y'all know that ain't me. Y'all know I don't give a. But I will say this. I will say this. We have to get back to basics as women. We have got to get back to basics as women. And I say that because I had some encounters this week with women of other races, right? And watching how they operate, watching how they interact, and watching their core focus is still on beauty. And women of other races, if you think about it, their core focus as a woman is making themselves beautiful.
Okay.
It's keeping themselves up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? Women of other races, they lead with beauty. They lead with how they keep themselves up. They put good money into keeping themselves up. Their men are a part of keeping themselves up because their men want to look at beautiful women. Yes, that's basic. Yes, that's like, oh, well, yeah. But the fact of the matter is, in other races, beauty is it. In our particular race, as African American women, we want to lead with our independence.
Okay.
We want to lead with how smart we are. We want to lead with
how acquired. What we acquired.
What we've acquired.
We came a long way.
What we've acquired.
We want to show everybody.
We want to show everybody how resourceful I am because I can do this and I can do that and I can do this and I can do that, right? And women of other races don't do that.
And then you end up getting used for all those resources.
And we get used for all the resources that we are presenting.
Yeah.
Or intimidated, and they like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay?
Both of those.
But both of those. Yeah. But women of other races are still, it's basic. They still focused on basics. They're still focused on, This is my beauty. This is how I look. This is how I keep myself up. This is how I remain feminine. This is how I do all those things, except us. And not Africans and not Caribbeans. Us African American women, we are focused on this part of it. And we are a good catch because this part of it. Where women of all of other races, Latin women, Asian women, whatever women, it's beauty. And they focus on that. And they teach that to other women in their race.
Can I ask you a question then? Because I have, in my last solid relationship, right, I kept myself up. I mean, to the point where I think a couple of weeks ago, I hung out with him just to hang out. It was raining. That's the first time he ever saw me, like, literally with just a scarf on my head and sweats, and I was in chill mode. Because I always felt like, one, I don't leave the house with a scarf on my head, you know, or I started, I don't know. I just feel like I've always presented myself very well, and I always smell good. So at the end of the day, I'm like, you got everything. And it's still not enough. So what? So where is that?
I think as a whole, right? I think some of us as individuals, that's just who we are. We want to look good. We want to smell good, be good. I think as a whole, as a group of women, I think our focus is very, very different than other groups of women.
I do. I mean, totally. I mean, we had this conversation in depth, right? And people do need to understand that. I mean, and it's very crazy that women are like, yeah, but I'm smart. And yeah, but the first thing a man is going to look at is what you look like. That's just hands down, right? Beauty is always. I watched that pop the balloon thing.
As soon as somebody walk in,
what are you
doing?
doing?
Yeah, like,
because I'm not attracted to her.
Right.
I'm just not.
Right.
She's not my cup of tea.
Right.
She's not beautiful to me. Right. But there are some that they're like, yeah, ma, you fit my like you do it.
As soon as she walk in.
Now I will say this.
Wait, but as soon as she walk in, she could be half stupid.
Yeah,
she could be half stupid, and they not going to pop no daggone balloon. They're gonna be like, she be trying.
I will say this, and I'm speaking for just having an old school mother and whatever. I always say this, and I'm very transparent with this. When I was younger, I felt like I had a banging body, right? Banging, everything set right, everything was whatever, but it was never told to me by my mother to work out, watch what you eat, take care of yourself, not go to the doctor. Of course, they tell you go to the doctor, make sure your teeth is this, your eyes, whatever you want to call it, your health. But when I'm talking about
it's beauty,
and
that other cultures put more
focus on.
Okay.
The thing is, they didn't tell us, like, at one point stuff gonna start sagging, and that at one point your eyes ain't gonna look like that. You know what I mean? Like I look like I got punched in the face if I'm tired. Like these are black circles. Like no one is telling us do the facials and go to the spa. You don't hear that all the time.
No.
We did that.
We did not.
We learned that. We learned that, y'all.
Yeah.
But that was not given to
women of other
back
cultures.
in the day. Not listen.
That's true.
We still, we've learned how to DIY our hair.
Some of
we
us,
learned
some
how
of
to
us,
do certain things. That's
Right.
great.
Right.
But it was no emphasis on Basima.
Keep yourself up.
After 30, it's gonna be hard to get that weight off. When you go through perimenopause or menopause, you are going to not look the same. Let's be real. Your smell is going to change. I need you to take some vitamins.
Talk real about that.
Okay,
That's why I'm very conscious. I don't leave the house without stuff.
Hear me.
Everything.
Hear me.
Because
Hear
I'm
me.
super
No
conscious.
one told us that.
Our parents did not tell us
No, they
that.
didn't.
No one said that to us.
No.
No one said, hey, you know what I mean? You got to do certain things because, your next 20 years are not going to look like when you were 20.
And because of that, there are a number of women in our age group that are out here single and they're trying to meet people. Well, he got to like me for this.
And they stink.
Tiffany, shut up.
You got the audacity, and then you stink.
Tiffany, shut up, please.
All I'm saying.
But you're right, because the fellas have talked about that.
The fellas did talk
The
about
fellas have talked about that.
They did.
You're right. Some
They
do.
did.
You're right. No, the fellas have talked
you know
about
you
that.
can smell yourself.
The fellas have talked about that extensively.
But my point is,
yeah,
is that I thank God for my village and my girls. Because let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. My girls was the ones that say, "Hey, shave." Not my mother. Am I lying?
You're not
Thank
lying.
God for my girlfriends. Remember, I grew up with boys.
Right.
Right? My girls was like, girl, make your skin soft. You got to do the scrubs.
Yep.
My girls said, da-da-da-da-da.
We had to learn from our girls.
All I'm saying, so we didn't learn.
Right.
All I'm saying to
as
you,
a culture,
as a
people,
culture,
as a people.
but we have got to pour that into our children. We have got to pour that into our sister friends.
Our girls.
We've got to do that, and we've got to stop putting emphasis on. Like you said, I'm gonna steal what you said, because I remember saying I don't like my arms. That's one thing I have a complex about my arms. Look, the whole world knows now, but I just say I have a complex about my arms. I really, really do, right? And the complex was put on me by somebody else. Okay, we'll talk about that sidebar after. But I have a problem with my arms. I have a problem with everybody has their thing about themselves that they're like, oh God. And I say I want to get my arms fixed. I want to take some fat out of my arms. It ain't about working out. Like, I can work out, but I'll make them muscle. I don't want to be muscle. I just want my arms back to a normal size. Point is that people are getting surgeries to do that. People are getting and I'm not saying, hear me, I don't believe in all of this whatever, like fake stuff. That's just me. You can do it, but when you're talking about lipo and you're talking about losing weight and you're talking about taking care of your skin, and when you're talking about, hey, I want to enhance this for me. I want to enhance this because I don't feel a way. I think that it should be okay for us to do that.
Absolutely.
In our culture, you're right.
But in our culture,
if somebody gets some work done, they be like, "You getting Botox now?"
I don't even want to talk about getting the work done. It's frowned upon to wear makeup. Do you know how black women will shame other black women for wearing makeup?
That's true.
She got all that makeup on it. Don't take all of that. You don't even need to do all that. And God forbid a weave.
But Toya,
you know what I
some
mean?
Men don't even like that, and I had to find that out.
That's true.
Like my ex, or I've had every type of lace front. I used to wear gray contacts. I used to do all this, and when he saw me with no blonde, no blonde in my hair, I might have just had, like right now, just powder, right? And he saw me and said, "You let your gray grow out?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "All these years I've been asking you to do that, and you didn't do that."
But this is the thing. What did you say? You said you have it just powder.
Yeah, and
it
looks natural.
How many people still waking up like they in the 3rd grade, putting lotion in their face and walking out the door?
To be honest with you. But you know what? But I do a regimen.
But these
I
are
do
the
a
same
whole regimen because of the dark circles.
But these are the same women.
Eye patches. I got eyes.
But these are the same. But these are the same women that shame other women,
and they shouldn't,
for doing it.
And they
right.
shouldn't.
So we can't even get to the enhancements that you got to pay for because you still
just
got
talk about the natural,
you still got people shaming other people because they decided to do their eyebrows or they decided to do. You don't need all that. It don't take all that. Why don't it? Why can't I do that for me?
That's what makes you feel good.
Why can't I do that for me?
What makes you feel good.
It does actually happen in relationships because I was in a relationship that was like, at one point I was feeling really bad about myself. And so I just wanted to do eyeshadow or lip color. And why are you doing that? So it happens in relationships too.
We could talk about the men's side of that because that's a whole nother. But I'm just saying, for us as sisters, as women, as a culture, Asian women have full skincare regimens. And as a matter of fact, we now buy stuff from them.
Right.
Because of their skincare regimens that have been passed down that they teach each other and other women do. It's a secret to this, that, the other. Spanish women, they got the shit on lock. Like they so that's a whole nother. We're going to talk about that after the show. you have women of other races that do all of these things. And then, you know, women from Iran and Iraq, they have
Brazilian women, hands down.
They have all
like,
of these beauty tips.
Beautiful
that
women.
beautiful tips. As they age, they have beautiful tips that they share with one another.
Meanwhile, we can't even. Meanwhile, we are getting older.
We are shaming, but we're shaming
them.
each other.
But then hold up. We are shaming them. We're not taking vitamins. We're not doing all types of stuff. And guess what? We're not doing. We're not taking care of ourselves. We're ending up with the diabetes. We're ending up with the osteoporosis, which you're gonna get anyway because that just comes with age. We're vitamin D deficient, but nobody is seeing about that. Nobody's working out anymore. We're not walking anywhere.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean. We're not doing anything
come from belly fat
and right, and so we're not eating right, but nobody is telling us that. And I'm just saying we gotta totally do that. We gotta start telling each other to be better about it. Hands down.
But you're 100% right. And even when Toya, when you mentioned the shaming part, we're shaming and we don't share.
No,
we don't share what it takes for us to enhance.
Yeah.
If I say to somebody, "Oh, girl, your skin look amazing," they'll just say thank you, and I'll say, "Where'd you get that?" Or "What did you do?" "Oh, girl, I've just been. This is just my daddy's side of the family," and they, that kind of deal. So
how about you look at somebody, you be like, "Don't they look good?" Well, she got all this work done. Okay, and it's okay. If she wanted to lift the breasts that hanging now because then gravity sets in at some point, let her do that. Yeah. If she wanted to, take some whatever it took for her to feel good about herself, and guess what? I'll never forget because my brothers, if you know Jessica, you know my brothers. They're very, very, very straightforward. And I remember being in a dating agreement. We had one of our friends in a dating agreement, and my brother was brutally honest when he said, "She has the full package. She's beautiful, she's smart, she this, but she need to lose weight." People would be offended. But you gotta understand what men aesthetically are looking at,
and that's my point.
No one's trying to. But I remember my brother saying, "You gotta tone down. You gotta lose a little bit of weight. You're gaining weight. Whatever. When I was not, this is not me in marriage or anything, but this is me like them just talking to me. Okay. You know what I mean? Talking to me and saying, you gotta put yourself together. You
gotta put yourself together.
Take the criticism without feeling.
That's it.
Because the thing is that we are criticizing and shaming one another for the smallest things that we do, but most of us are 40 plus and still single.
Just
want to take care of ourselves.
Okay, and you still want somebody to come in and what? So what? I got these circles and rolls and bad health, and this is hanging, and this look bad.
Take me as I am, or have nothing at all.
And my hair is thinning. And what we say, Tasha? We out here looking like the Crypt Keeper, and we talking about somebody. But I'm a good person, though. You know,
take me.
No, that is not.
No, you're right.
Back to basics.
You're right.
As women, we need to get back to basics. Women of every other race,
and it's more
know
than
the
spa
basics.
days, guys. It's more than spa days. It is a skincare regimen.
Vitamins.
It is vitamins. It is everything. And I'm talking to myself because I'm a nurse and I am the worst patient in the world.
Yes, you are.
They tell me, they scream at me
they do.
because I'm always taking care of somebody else or I'm always doing something. I'm the worst person. But I will say, you got to get back to yourself. Get your hair done. Enhance those things that you want to enhance. Yeah. You are out here in the dating. If you are out here in the dating world, and hell, I'm married. I still want my wife
about to
look
say
at
you're
me.
married.
Like, just be real.
Married.
I don't want her to look at me when she next to me and be like, God, because you just put. And I be doing that sometimes, like with the t-shirts on and stuff. Like I be coming to bed every which way with the hair like that. All I'm saying to you is that you've got to get that skincare regimen.
Back to basics,
get
ladies.
that. Go to the gym, walk around the track, do some heart healthy things. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Or get a good shaper.
Listen, them Dominicans,
or get a good shaper.
Those fajas, and they
get a good shaper.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Hello.
Smooth.
When you go out with your clothes on and you putting yourself together, go out with a shaper. Okay, make yourself look put together.
You gotta be out here.
Ladies,
presenting
we are
something
of
to
a
something.
certain age.
If you are looking and you are dating, you need to be out there like that.
Right.
You need to present yourself in a full
Back
package
to
manner.
basics. Back to
and
basics.
sometimes it is just that because somebody is not gonna like you because you got whatever. I've heard the craziest stuff from men.
Especially when these men talk.
Oh my God, the
after
craziest
this
stuff
particular
from
show,
men.
the stuff they say in the
imagine.
other room.
Can't even imagine.
It's terrible. It's
You can't even imagine.
Me and be sit in silence and be like, oh.
I had to start checking myself.
Okay.
Like, wait a minute, am I?
I need to come to after the show next time.
Yeah,
No, you had to hear it. They're brutal.
They are terrible.
They're brutal.
They
We
are
done
terrible.
heard smells and scents and breath
Oh
and
God.
the regiment in the morning and
her house ain't clean.
We've
her
heard it
clothes
all.
wasn't clean.
We've heard it all.
How you doing this and your clothes don't even
Yeah.
smell like the
I'm clean.
detergent.
You better smell
One
clean.
said, I'm cleaner than you and I'm a man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Shots
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Ladies, we need to get back. I know we got to end the show. Sorry, Jeff. We got to end the show. Ladies, I just want to end tonight. One of the things we have to do as a group, as women, as a group of women, is we have to get back to basics. We got to get back to basics. Yes, we know you smart. Yes, we know you resourceful.
got it.
Yes, you got all the degrees. Yes, you make a certain amount. Yes, you've achieved all these things. But can you please just get back to basics? The basics of a woman.
Some of us might have to learn that.
Yahtzee.
Well, that's the part. You're absolutely right about that.
That's it.
So let's go back to that. But also,
Yeah.
sister girls, talk to your girls.
Talk to your
Get your
girls.
girls in order.
Get your
Talk.
girls in
Let them.
order.
Let them express some of the things that are plaguing them as far as their insecurities.
Some chicks, I'm learning. I'm not trying to be funny. Some
Go ahead.
chicks won't tell their girlfriends because it makes them look better.
They're not friends.
Right.
Took it right out
But
my
they're
Not
not.
friends.
And it's a shame that
Yeah.
you'll let your so-called friend
not friends.
look crazy,
They're not friends.
smell crazy. I told my girls, if you ever smell me, you let me know. I keep a toiletry bag in my car because we're women. We sweat. We got boobs.
We
got
going through hormone
all
changes
of-
now,
Yeah,
so that now
all of
it's
this.
really different.
Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna say this real quick. Growing up, Toya, I didn't have the skin per se regimen, but my Aunt Bev, my mom, my Nana, my grandmother. Make sure you put powder underneath your breast because you're top heavy. Make sure you put a little powder in between your legs because you're gonna sweat. Make sure just those things to make sure that I don't stink. Because at the end of the day, a woman's smell comes up.
And with the next generation now, how many times you see their stomach hanging out their shirt?
Toya, I hate it.
I'ma end the show now.
Toya,
I'ma end the show now. I'ma end
No,
the show
can I tell
now.
you? And we need to
we
check our
gotta
young
go.
girls.
They
The
don't
young
want to
girls.
listen though.
The young
Bees.
girls.
No, they know everything.
Put the shaper on.
They don't want to
Put the
shaper on.
No,
I'm tired of seeing
B,
tires.
B
Put
with
the shaper
crop
on.
tops.
Put
That-
the with crop
I'm
tops.
nervous to walk out
Put the
like
shaper
that.
on.
And I'm not near as big as somebody. Look at Toya. I'm not near as big as what I have seen in a crop top with their stomach all
Get
back.
back
Toya.
to basics. All right,
So
we
you
got
should
to
do
end the
something for
show.
little girls,
We'll be back.
Toya.
Yes, we'll be back next week, everybody. Ladies, please, can we get back to basics? As far as taking accountability for things that we can do to help try to heal this divide, as women, we need to get back to basics. We need to get back to being women. We need to get back to being ladies. We need to get back to being feminine. We need to get back to beauty as a basic.
I like that.
On that note, everybody, listen. It's been a great show. We'll be back next week, part 2 of us continuing on Black love, healing the divide in relationships.
Can I just read this one comment?
Go ahead.
We gotta accept receding hairlines and droopy balls. Love on this fupa and shut up.
Stupid. Who said that? Deej?
Yeah.
I already knew Deej was saying it. Listen. All right, everybody. Jeff, go ahead and take us away. God willing, we'll be back here next week, same time, same place, different show. And make sure you go on Eventbrite because we are now officially 30 days out from our event on June 7th, and tickets are going to sell out. If you're not in the building, you're just not in the building, and you just missed another good one. So make sure, make sure you get your tickets now because it's going to be so good. So thank you, everybody. Love you all. See you next week. Bye. Jeff, take us away.